Brief explanation. AP English Language and Composition is a college-level class that involves developing writing and analyzing skills while learning 3 essay types: synthesis, rhetorical, and argument. Synthesis essay, which includes source analysis, evidence gathering, and conscious writing. Rhetorical analysis essay involving non-fiction text analysis. The argument essay involves critical thinking and developing argumentative skills. At the end of the course, students will carry out an AP exam which has 2 main sections: multiple choice questions and free response questions. For the MCQ, here are some tips and tricks to thrive on your exam. Apply these in your reading part. Summarize the main idea of each paragraph. Consider the relationship between paragraphs and/or ideas. Look and listen for key pieces of rhetorical puzzle, tone, and claim. Narrow your options by validating or disqualifying keywords. Identify specific details to create image of the topic. Identify reliability and quotation. Main idea established, descriptions and comparisons lead to the purpose. Now, here are some things to take in account to select the correct answers. Partially right is not right. The answer choice must answer the question asked. There can be a correct answer, but it doesn't necessarily answer the question. Be mindful of vague answers. Now for the MCQ written section, here are some tips. Read the passage to identify topic, tone, claim, and methods of development. Anticipate potential spots of revision. Pass the question carefully to find out what is really asking. Narrow options by validation or disqualifying keywords. Identify the topic, beginning or end of the passage. Thesis statement, identify the tone, and take in account the methods of development. If the author wants to add a phrase that engages or emphasizes, take in account to focus on the goal. Identify the main idea of the paragraph. Look at the word choice in the answer choices. If the author wants to add the following phrase, does it contribute to the main idea, add relevant new information, clarify the previous sentence, don't interrupt the flow. If the author instead wants to add a phrase that engages or emphasizes, focus on the goal, identify the main idea of the paragraph, look at the word choice in the answer choices. Finally, if the author wants to delete the following phrase, does it distract from the main idea, provide tangential information, interrupt the flow of the paragraph, or provide irrelevant information. Now for the FRQ part of the exam, we'll start with the argument essay, which is conformed by the claim and the argument, and for a sophistication point, the counter argument. Here are some tips to take in account. You can use personal experience for your evidence. Classify what you know about thesis and topic. Decide position. Doesn't need to necessarily be black and white. Use evidence that sounds real, which can sound reliable and support your thesis. Sophistication points is the style, grammar, and persuasive tone you effectively use. Here are the main tips for your argument essay. Consider your rhetorical triangle. Use charged language like SAT vocab. Develop vocab naturally. Avoid cliches. Avoid common phrases or ideas. Stay in topic. Identify 1 or 2 choices. Watch, use, and overuse. Make intentional choices. Now, important modifiers. Using precise language, add descriptions to clarify meanings, including reasoning, subordinate clauses like because. Combine sentences, turn a sentence into a phrase. For our next essay, which is synthesis essay, we need to understand the task, identify positions, and consider areas impacted. Some tips are: the commentary should drive essays and build line of reasoning. Source relationships, complexities equals sophistication. Source A argues. However, through the writing, there is data given that contradicts its main idea, supporting source B position. Look for the keywords or coordinating conjunctions. Position in prompt is yes or no. Quote integration, about 9 words. it should flow with the writing, avoid according to, and use the destruction of nature has motivated people because all sources must be cited. Mix of paraphrased evidence and quotes. Draw specific words or details from evidence to support claim and develop line of reasoning. Now, a brief explanation of our final essay is rhetorical essay. Thesis must be defensible and presenting the choices the author made on the given text and its impact. For the essay parts, the introduction must present the rhetorical situation of the text, author, context, exigence, purpose, message, and audience, and the last sentence of the intro must be thesis statement. For the body paragraphs, you must analyze the author's choices and impact. Can be done by choice 1, body paragraph per author's choice, or top to bottom. Analyze the text choices in order of appearance. Body paragraphs must include evidence only from the provided text with a maximum length of 9 words, and then in the parentheses place the line number of the evidence. Choices can include literary devices like simile, metaphor, alliteration, rhetorical questions, juxtaposition, repetition, and sentence structure and punctuations, constant use of commas, no punctuation, simple sentences, complex sentences, compound sentences. For the parts of speech, you might find pronouns, adjectives, and verbs. For the FRQ, we have an argument example. The term overrated is often used to diminish concepts, places, roles, etc. that the speaker believes do not deserve the prestige they commonly enjoy. For example, many writers have argued that success is overrated. A character in a novel by Anthony Burgess famously described Rome as a vastly overrated city, and Queen Ronia of Jordan herself has asserted that the blank queen is overrated. Select a concept, place, role, etc. to which you believe that the term overrated should be applied. Write an essay that argues your position. In your response, you should do the following. Respond to the prompt with a thesis that presents a defendable position. Provide evidence to support your line of reasoning. Explain how the evidence supports your line of reasoning. Use appropriate grammar and punctuation in communicating your arguments. Our example of a thesis that responds to the prompt is: the cost of a culinary experience in 5-star restaurants is overrated considering disproportional allocations of resources specifically in food. For chicken feed, that is basically how you organize your body paragraphs, we have, in the first paragraph, costs of a 5-star restaurant and their price justification. For the second body paragraph, overrated price of food nowadays, and for our last body paragraph, we have the disproportional allocation of food in the actuality. Essential question responses. In our AP English language class, we focused as a central topic nature. These are some of the questions we answer through the year. Are humans being part of nature? Humans are the part of nature because they are part of the living chain cycle. Other components of nature rely on humans for their existence, and it also works for the other way around. Humans depend on nature for their existence, for example, for food. So they coexist with each other, therefore humans are part of nature and are a viable component. Another example is, in what ways do people appreciate nature and their natural world? People have to appreciate nature by preserving it and caring for its components. It is important to care for the natural world by conserving the resources nature provides, by using them reasonably and helping to avoid overuse or waste. Also, using eco-friendly products doesn't create a negative impact on the natural world, so no more damage is created. For our next example, what are the implications of contextualizing the natural world in politics? Nature is constantly present with the political area of countries. By contextualizing the natural world in politics, it is implied that there will be an economic aspect in which countries would like to treat nature as a business. Natural components will be considered as a monetary source and nature will be damaged by it. Many decisions in terms of the preserving or destruction of nature will be taken by politicians which doesn't necessarily care about the well-being of natural world and its components. Our next question. What is the relationship between humans and the surrounding natural world? Humans and the natural world have a dependent relationship. They must coexist with the same environment for each species to survive and thrive, reaching their potential. Our next question. How is language a powerful indicator of ideology? Language is a powerful indicator of society's ideology because it demonstrates an individual or a group of people's perspective by communicating their ideas. Language is the key form in expressing opinions and ideas. Without language, communication will disappear. Our next question says, in what ways have the natural world and the economy become intertwined? The natural world and the economy are severely intertwined because the economy worldwide utilizes natural resources as a monetary source, creating income for the country. The economic aspect of the natural world is causing severe problems like resource overuse. For our last question, what is our responsibility to the natural world? As humans, we are part of the nature, and our responsibility is to preserve it. If there is the need to use it rationally, and then help it to continue survival. For example, if we cut trees to produce paper or wood materials, we continue to plant more so there is no scarcity in the future, and we don't affect the natural world and its components. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you get over a 3 on your exam.